Today's video, we're going to discuss what Colin Cowherd had to say about the New Orleans Saints, because he has some very, very strong opinions around Kellen Moore and the black and gold. So before we even have a conversation about what Colin Cowherd had to say, I want to ask you, do you believe in Kellen Moore as the Saints head coach? I'm not asking, do you think the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl? I'm not asking, do you think they're going to make the playoffs? I'm asking, do you believe in him as the head coach over the next few years? I think if we show improvement, I think if we show development of young players, you have your guy, at least for another couple of seasons. Now, let's just dive straight into what Colin Cowherd had to say. Starting things off, he discusses Kellen Moore and, why there's issues. And let's just go straight for it. Colin Cowherd saying, about Kellen Moore, he'll be fine. They don't have any cap room. They've got a lot of issues. I think that's going to be, for the next couple of years, a dead franchise. No, I don't disagree. Saints aren't in a great spot. There's no way around it. There's no way to spin it. They are not in a good situation. You have an aging roster. You have a first-time head coach. No clear route at quarterback. No clear path to cap compliance in the future, I should say. I just don't think the Saints are in a great spot. But I will say I think that New Orleans can still win the NFC South. And just because the Saints are in a bad spot doesn't mean that they can't be competitive. I'm sorry. I didn't realize the NFC South, before free agency even opened up, became some gauntlet of a division. They're not. The Bucs, they won the division because the rest of the division was backpedaling by the end of the season. The Falcons blew a ridiculous divisional lead. Saints went on a 7-game losing streak because Dennis Allen was incompetent. The Panthers actually kind of looked good here. And I will say, when you take into consideration the fact that the salary cap is going to explode here in the near future, I don't think that it's fair to say that the Saints are a dead franchise. Sure, there's problems. Sure, there's holes on the roster. Sure, they don't have a lot of cap space. But I am here to tell you, they're at least moving in the right direction when it comes to trying to build something for the future. And, linked below, we did break down that Brett Coleman report in full detail. This is the thumbnail. It's linked in the comments and description of this video. So if you want to check that out, I highly encourage you to go get informed. A lot of really good information, really good nuggets in there. But just going back to Colin Cowherd about Kellen Moore, he was asked what he thinks, how long he's got. He wants to last 4 years. They don't have the cap space. They don't have a quarterback. I just don't think they have enough good players. I disagree with Colin Cowherd on this. I don't think it's going to be a 4-year leash. What do you guys think? How many years does Kellen Moore get to fix things? Do you think he gets 4 years? Do you think he's around longer than 4 years? Do you think he has 2 years to figure it out, and then if not, he's fired? In my personal opinion, I think that the Saints and the Saints fans, they should be patient. Not just the team, not just the front office, but you and me having conversation right now. We need to be patient. We need to understand that it's not going to get fixed overnight. This is a 1-2 year fix when it comes to the salary cap situation. But, I will say positive news here. Everything indicates that the team and that the front office believes in Kellen Moore and that they're willing to be patient and they're willing to work with him. And I think if you're showing a willingness to do those things, you made mistakes in the past, but that doesn't mean you can't correct them. I like that information. Gail Benson at the introductory press conference for Kellen Moore saying, Kellen, you have my full commitment to do whatever it takes to deliver another Lombardi trophy to New Orleans. Look, I can understand why Colin Cowherd isn't liking the Saints. I can understand why he thinks his team isn't going to be good. I don't understand why he said this. I would pick the Saints last because I think Carolina's on the way up. Sure, Carolina is on the way up. I agree. I think the Panthers are trending upwards right now. But so are the Saints. The Saints haven't gotten worse. The Saints have only gotten better, and they've only made one roster move. Just the coaching rehaul alone, or the coaching overhaul alone, is a big win, and it improves the roster. That being said, sure, the Panthers have improved, but the NFC South is not wildly competitive, guys. The Falcons are not an amazing team. I mean, we want to sit here and have a conversation. Spencer Rattler and Michael Penix have the same amount of wins as a starting quarterback. They have the same amount of wins. Kirk Cousins is old. No. I think the Falcons are in a better situation than the Saints. But to sit here and say that they're an absolute dumpster fire, they're a dead franchise, and they're the only team going down right now, that's a lie. That's not true, Colin, and I expect more from you. So with the New Orleans Saints, I think they can still win and they can still be competitive purely based on the fact that Kellen Moore is the head coach. Remember, this roster was doing good things before it got injured. Things start going off the rails when injuries start piling up, and that happens for any team. Now, really quick, I want to do a fast reminder to subscribe and join our family. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, so help us get there. We have recently crossed over 41K, though. So we got to get to 42, then to 43, then to 44, all the way up to 50,000 subscribers. The half 100,000 milestone, I hope we can get there ASAP, and I hope you can help us make it happen quicker. Now, really fast, you also can get some really quick gear, or some really sick gear, I should say. Chatsports.com/SaintsLS, Saints long sleeve. It's a Nike shirt. It's 40% off. You got the hood. You got the Saints across the chest. It's a sideline shirt. It absolutely is fresh, so I highly recommend it. It's linked in the comments and description of this video. It's coming from Fanatics. That way you know you're getting a good product. Now, I do believe Kellen Moore being hired, I do believe that this makes a big impact. And I do believe that hiring a good coach, that minuscule move can make a massive impact, and a massively positive impact, I should say. Dare I say Kellen Moore might be the best head coach in the NFC South? I mean, Todd Bowles, again, he's won the division because the rest of the NFC South sucks, and they are the recipients of they're the best of, let me put it this way, they're the least stinky shit. That's how you can think about the Bucs right now. Falcons, Raheem Morris, they just blew a divisional lead. He was horrible in the back half of the season. I've already seen Falcons fans calling for his job. Dave Canales, credit to him. Panthers are looking good. None of them, but Kellen Moore, sure, some of them have had Super Bowl experience and whatever, okay. But Kellen Moore did it most recently. Kellen Moore also did it with a historically good team. He also put up historic numbers. Also on top of that, Kellen Moore is a much younger mind. He's a player. He's innovative. He's creative. I think that you could put Kellen Moore's football IQ up to anybody's football IQ in the NFC South, and it would be better. I genuinely think Kellen Moore, he could be the best head coach in the NFC South. Over the future, I think right now he might be the best one in the division. And I'll say this, what if things go well? I mean, shit, what if things go super, super well? What if in 6 months from now, we're having a conversation of, oh my God, they killed this draft. They have destroyed free agency. They have had an insanely good offseason. And then what happens if they start winning a couple games in the preseason? And then what happens if they win a few games early? And then what happens if they keep winning games? And what happens if they win the division, for the love of God? Are all these analysts like Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd going to tuck their tail between their legs and say they were wrong? No. They're going to say they believed him the whole time. But don't you forget who actually believed in this team the whole time. It's us Saints fans. The Big J guys, they don't care. They don't know. They don't want to know about the team. They don't care. We do. And that's why you should subscribe to the channel. If you're excited for the new era of Saints football, it is here, ladies and gentlemen. You can leave the Dennis Allen and Derek Carr experience. You can leave that in the dust. It doesn't matter if Derek Carr's a part of the team next year. You can leave that whole entire past in the dust. The Sean Payton, Drew Brees era is done. It is a new era and a new generation of Saints football. If you're excited, if you're ready for the ride with me, give me a WHO DAT down in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe. Y'all stay golden.